Mr. X to the Z exhibit.
What's up, guys? It's Andy Frisella.
This is your boy, Foul Munch.
This is Ryan Serhant.
This is Shingy.
Hi, it's Patrick Média.
This is Sonia Zarbatany.
This is Director X.
Hey, everybody, I'm Forbes Riley.
Yo, this is Goldie.
This is Amberly Lago.
This is Chris Voss.
Michael Francis here.
Yo, this is Charlie Tuna.
Hey, what's up? It's Billy G.
And you're listening to the Run GpG
podcast.
Well, I'm going to go hang out and listen to David's next podcast from the Run GpG.
You might hear something you like. Peace.
Sonia Zarbatany, known to fans and friends as Coach Sonia, is an international speaker, life and business coach, as well as a corporate consultant based out of Montreal. Everything she has created, from her Coach Sonia events, retreats, and online programs to her Tribe event space and media agency, Tribe Média, all exist so she can impact as many people as possible. Sonia also coaches and speaks on global stages to empower, inspire, and impact others to live in the now and execute the steps needed to create a brighter future for both their personal and professional lives. She brings tangible tips and next steps to start, pivot, and scale their business and balance their home life. As an entrepreneur and business owner, she has built and scaled her own clients' businesses to massive success. She coaches her clients to achieve results in their own lives that they had only once imagined possible. Sonia, it's so good to see you again. Welcome to the Run GpG podcast.
It's so good to be here.
You do have an extensive bio, and I'm excited that you are here. We did make this happen. We do have some mutual friends, but this is the first Montreal alumni episode of the show. So I'm excited about that, and I'm glad we connected. So for people introduced to you for the first time on this show, and I asked you this yesterday, how would you describe what you do?
I impact. What I do is, first of all, I'm so happy to be here. Second of all, how fun is it that we're both in Montreal? How fun is it? How fun is it that this world allows us to connect, through Brad, who was in Vegas, then through online, and then we, through our relationship, are able to then go on and impact thousands and hundreds of thousands. That's the beauty of it. So what do? I'm a speaker. I speak across the world. I coach, I consult, and I am a friend. I'm a mom. They call me an influencer, but basically my whole passion and purpose is to really help people live their best life, help them figure out what their definition of success is, and then scale from that, and then go and achieve that.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but you do have an interesting backstory, right? Mm-hmm. So where are you from? Where did you grow up, and how did you end up in Montreal?
Okay, so I was born in Morocco. I was born in Morocco. My mom had me. She was 21 years old. And at the age of 3, we moved back to Montreal. Her family was in Montreal. And I grew up in Montreal. My mom then married my stepdad, who is my business head. That's where I got into business. And I developed really, really strongly into business. We own a bunch of fashion brands across Canada and the US, such as Guess Jeans, XOXO. And then I left my very last exam that I wrote in Western in London, Ontario. And I was like, I'm going to go do this on my own. I need to go figure who I am, what I'm going to do. And I moved to LA. And then from LA, I moved to Vegas for 2.5 years. I lived in Kauai for 3 months, went completely raw, went deep into the whole personal development space, relationship space. And then, I started speaking all over.
That's what I love about Montreal. You always hear stories like that, very rarely do you find somebody without a very interesting backstory to how they ended up here, the family backgrounds. It really is a melting pot here, a lot of different backgrounds. Again, that's what I do love about the city. Now, here's a question. How did you end up in the world of entrepreneurship, personal development, and eventually coaching?
I think it's so beautiful because for me, what I really feel like every serious coach, we have a really backstory, right? For me, I needed to figure out who I was. And that's why I went into coaching. I didn't go into coaching to become a coach. I just needed to figure out who I was. What did I really want, right? It's so easy for people coming from family businesses to just go, all right, I graduate, get my degree, and then I go into my fashion business. But I was like, what if there's more? Like, I want to explore. There's a huge world out there. Like, I want to put a name for myself. I want to, I really want to live it and experience it. So that's why I left and I got into Landmark. I got into personal development because, I didn't come from a relationship that, my parents weren't the family that, a nice, simple family. So I really didn't think I would ever get married. Like, I really just thought that I'd be the woman who just like, I was good, like I didn't need a man to fulfill me and all these things. So I was like, maybe it's me, maybe it's me. And to be honest, yeah, of course it was me. Right. So I got deep into personal development and my head is all about business. I can literally sit in front of anybody and develop a game plan to scale their business. Like, that's my head. That's where I go. And to me, it's like, until you can shift that mindset, because that's really what stops people, then the world's yours. Like, go get everything that you want. Yeah.
And that brings up, you brought it up there, sitting and developing like a business plan. Where does it start for you? Like, is it getting to know the business, the mission statements, the core values? Like, where does developing a brand or a business plan come from? Where does it start? What's the process?
So the first thing is clarity, right? The first thing, because here's the deal. It's funny. Now I'm launching a new program. It's Master Your Business and Master Your Personal Brand, right? And literally the first part is your vision. Like, what do you even want? Like what? Because here's the deal. You're going to have to work your ass off for it. And if someone's not like, this is it, welcome to the world. Like, you're going to have to work, but look, for you, your podcast, how much work is it? It's a lot of work, but you love it. You love it. Right. So for me, what I always go to is one is like, let's get real clear on your vision. Like, what do you want? What do you want to develop? Why do you want it? And what will make you so hungry for it that through the challenges, through the struggles, through the difficulty, through the hard times, that you're going to have the consistent habits to keep going and to achieve those goals. Because people quit so quickly because they never did the first step. They just kind of ran in and said, yeah, I'm good at that. Let me open a business, or let me, start with this social media thing. But without a clear strategy, where are you going with it?
Yeah, it's such an important point. Clarity is like critical. And now, like, you have developed, fiercely loyal clients and fans, a large following. We all know that. What's your secret sauce or superpower to that? Or maybe it's just a fundamental, concept that's made you successful. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I know that. Here's the deal. Two things I've done. One is I've done this coaching and the speaking thing before, before moving back into Montreal and then going back into the fashion industry. But the problem is, here's where where it wasn't working for me. I was speaking and giving and giving and giving. And I felt like I was 26 at the time, right? I felt like I needed to be perfect. Like I felt like, hey, I'm a coach. Hey, I'm a speaker. Hey, I'm on stage. I need to have my stuff all figured out. And I didn't like that. I don't want to be that. I want that. The reason why I have such a loyal following and an amazing audience is because they know I'm going to show up no matter what. Like right before doing that, I showed up on stories and I spoke about, a struggle that I was having with my kid. And I feel so comfortable with my audience to not just show up as this strong, fearless, go get it, leader, mom, but there's hard times. And I feel so okay with being completely vulnerable, completely authentic, and just completely me. So to give, your audience a beautiful tip is, imagine if you could build a personal brand. Imagine if you could build an audience. Imagine if you could build just a platform where you could just show up and be yourself. Like, that's it. And then the beautiful thing is, when people meet you in real life, they already love you because they already know you. You never have to show up and be like, hey guys, so today, no, hey guys. Or if you're a hey guys, then great. But you could just show up completely how you are, and that be so great because it allows people to show up how they are as well.
I love that. I think, being vulnerable is one thing, but authenticity is critical, these days, especially on social media. And you are very motivating. So I think that's I'm really glad that you broke that down for us, because you definitely have something there, right? So you're very motivating, you're empowering. That's for damn sure. But you do have a superpower, and I'm glad you identified it and labeled it.
And walk the talk. Like so many, I walk my talk. If I tell you I slept 4 hours last night, I put it on my stories. I was like, here's my Aura ring, 4 hours of sleep. I was in the gym. That's it. I could have came up with so many excuses. I could cancel on this. I could cancel on my coaching. I won't cancel. So that will then inspire other people to do what can they not cancel in their life. So I believe that there is such beauty in leading by example. And I feel that stepping into your femininity and stepping into, your essence as a woman is something phenomenal. And I'm really, really happy to be able to have a community that get inspired by that.
Do you coach men at all?
Absolutely. I love coaching men.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm not stepping into my femininity.
No, I don't need you to step into your femininity, but I could coach you in one hot second. Because the thing with men, that what I love about men, it's so interesting because, with men, we could literally go straight into the business no matter what's happening in their life. Whereas most women, again, I'm generalizing and, but whereas most women, if they're having a crisis in their home, if their kids are off, if they're off, like we have to fix that before we go into business. One of the men that I coach, literally a couple months ago, he's sitting in front of me and he never has his phone on and he's always checking his phone. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, let me just take this. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And he gets on the phone and he goes, yeah, well, is she with him right now? Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, no, send me the pictures. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll call you right after. I'm just with my coach. I'll call you after. He hangs up the phone. I'm like, your wife's cheating on you, isn't she? She's like, yeah, the private detective is taking pictures as we speak. And this is halfway through this like full acquisition. Yes. Like full on. That's why he had to take the phone call. Like, what do you mean your PA's on your wife right now? And you're sitting with me talking about, acquiring another business, right? So yeah.
Wow. The things you hear as a coach, hey? And I do know why you slept 4 hours last night. You were trying to think about what to wear and then went ahead and spilt coffee.
Right. Can you imagine? No, but listen, the beauty of this is your listeners won't see that, but your viewers will. I turn my shirt around and I have a great coffee stain right there. You
can never tell. You can't tell. It was smart. That's what an entrepreneur does.
You pivot. You pivot, baby.
You pivot.
I turned that shirt around and I made it happen.
Well, listen, you're relating some stories from coaching. Now, what's the most surprising lesson you've learned since you've been in coaching and personal development? Not to put you on the spot too much, but, is there a surprising lesson you've learned or something that you wish you knew before you started this?
Oh, that's such a good question. It's so funny because I now coaching, like I've coached hundreds and hundreds. It's like I know where we're going within the first 30 seconds. I get your limiting belief before you even speak it. And, I think, the most beautiful thing is people they've created such realities in their world where they will tell you where they're stopping themselves within the first 5 minutes. Like they will literally tell you that, men are all, I'm not dating because men are all shit. Well, okay. So there's where you're stopping yourself. Or, I haven't succeeded because of this. Like it's so easy because you already are telling me where you're stopping yourself. We're already here within the first 5 minutes because this story that you've created, why you're stopping yourself, why you're not connecting to people, why you're not scaling your business, why you're scared to go, big on social media or, ask for the date, ask for the raise. Like you're telling me this. So if you could just listen to yourself and listen to the excuses that you're making in your own life, like you're halfway there, buddy. There you are. Because it's not even true. Oh, if I had more money, if I was skinnier, if I was, because it's Montreal's cold. Those are all like COVID, like so many things that you're stopping yourself because you made that your excuse.
Mm-hmm. You sound like me yesterday. That's what it sounds like. I was sitting there. I was a little bitter at the Montreal cold. I did run 10K though. Listeners,
you ran 10K outside?
I ran 10K outside. I did. I got it done. I put the work in.
You got it in. I'm so proud. I have to join this 10K run.
It took me a while though. It wasn't a very fast average kilometer, clock speed. But now we were talking about this yesterday, the need to be in person for a lot of these coaching events. Before we do that, actually, let me back up because you did hit on something that I think really effective coaches do. You do it. It's understanding people and personality types, right? What makes people tick. And you said it, within the first 30 seconds, you can read someone and identify, what the issue might be. And I think people management skills, that's what gets you paid these days. And I think that's what people need is someone who can manage their personality and understand them. So I think that's critical. I think you hit on something there. And like I said, we were talking about this yesterday. You pivoted, a lot of companies and a lot of businesses pivoted, in response to the pandemic, right? And you successfully pivoted to a virtual model. How did you do that?
I pivoted and pivoted and pivoted. And then I pivoted so much that I created a course called Pivot Your Business in 14 Days. And I love this. It's so interesting because listen to this, right? I believe that it's not about, we're all coaches and speakers and trainers and blah, blah. It's like goal setting and all, but it's not even about the goal. It's like, it's who you're becoming in the pursuit of their goals, right? Like one of the word, like it's my big word is today. It's like right now. Who are you being right now? Are you loving your life right now? Are you taking out all of the juice that you can right now? Are you fully present to your life right now? So for me, what I loved is the challenge of me actually putting myself to the test. Like, am I really the person that I think I am? You know what I mean? Because we never got tested. So let me take you back 2020. When COVID hit, I was running my retreat. I was running my Coach Sonia retreat in Morocco, in Marrakesh. And we had 21 people and, taking them to the palaces of the world on how to scale their business and going through mindset work and, the villages of Marrakesh. Like it was the most unbelievable transformational retreat, which I love to do because I'm all about experiences until the world shut down and airports shut down. And it was really interesting because it was the first time that I actually got negativity over social media. Like I'm like Miss Positive, right? Like what do you mean? And it was really interesting because I had big names come at me and being like, oh, Sonia, you should have known better than to take your people to such dangerous. I'm like, when's the last time airports closed down? Like who knew better? Like this has never happened. So now we were stuck in Morocco and I had 21 people to bring home. And to me, that's like when the real retreat started. And then it was like, all right, like, who are you really? Because my kids were at home. I had my 2-year-old at home. I had my 6-year-old at home. And as a mom, I want to go back to my kids. And I had my 3 stepsons, like, so there's that. But then as a leader and as a coach and as I needed to get my people home. So we really, got every single person home. But then I got home to Montreal and my tribe, which is my 9,000 square foot co-working space. Well, that was closed too. So, this beautiful space that I imagined and loved where I had 300 people to the opening 2 weeks before was closed. So then I pivoted that to a media agency and we didn't stop. And then my coaching, I'm a speaker. I do events. I do live events. Well, I pivoted that to online and I started speaking virtually and I spoke to well over 100,000 people that year alone on different events. And then my coaching obviously got pushed to online. And then I started doing more and more online courses and realized the importance of building your personal brand and the importance of creating community and creating audience that is resonating with your material and that wants what you have to, whether you're selling services or products. So I really, again, it's lead by example, right? Show them how you do it and show up every single day consistent.
I can think of worse places to be stuck when airports shut down than Morocco, right? Sounds like fun. Like, let's go. Like, let's hang out.
Well, that's what I did. So listen, there's let's go. And then there's it's a bit freaky, honestly, because it's like, you know what I mean? When they close,
I get it. Everybody's got family at home. I totally get it.
Oh, if I can't listen, if it was just me and you could have shipped my kids, I would have. But what we did is we again, you're always in choice, right? So I think something beautiful as your listeners are listening, it's like, yeah, cool, whatever, Sonia, nice story. But it's not about my story. It's really about like you, like right now you're listening to this and you're going like, there is your retreat that's happening right now, right? You are in choice. Like you can, maybe you decided vax, non-vax, this, non-this, whatever it is that you decided, and maybe you feel stuck, but you're still in choice, right? So when we felt stuck in Morocco, I woke up and I was like, all right, we're going to a palace, and we rented a palace in Morocco, and we danced and we fucking danced and we played and we went hard, and people were coming at me, and I've never had so much hate because they were like, how could you dance when people are crying? And I'm like, well, that's also a choice. So, what is your, like, maybe you're watching this and you're listening to this and you're in the car and you're like, when's the last time I danced? Like, when's the last time I turned the music up and I just made my own party? Because at any moment you could decide to just step out of this matrix and go into your own little world and make your own movie.
I love that. When was the last time you danced? When was the last time?
This morning. Do you know how many moves I have? What are you talking about?
You did not dance this morning.
I 100% did. Oh, that's your dance?
Well, children of the 90s.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, not bad. You talked about it. I think inevitably, like when you gain some popularity, some influence, whatever, you're going to have haters come for you. You said you dealt with it, I'm assuming, on social media, right? Where people are making comments. How do you deal with that? Do you just like blow it off, or do you let it sting, or how do you deal with negativity?
You know what? I don't play in that game. I'm so like, I don't play in that game. That's on them. Like I'm so clear on where I'm going. I so know who I am. I so know what I don't even play with that. Also, it doesn't even get to, like, it doesn't even come into my bubble because I guard my circle. Like I really have people that I test that are around me. Like, I know you and I, for example, we met face to face in Montreal yesterday. You and I have each other. It's like this. We're the same person. We're the same fucking thing. It's like, I got you, and I know you have me. So it's like, once you understand how to just really manifest people that have the right mindset as you, it's so strong because nobody's going to come at you because you have these people that really know you. So would I ever be, hurt by someone saying something negative about me? No, of course not. They don't know. Of course not. It wouldn't even get to me. Like, how is it going to get to me?
Yeah, I think it's a good question to ask, influencers like yourself. I think it's good to kind of go through that process, just to ask a question. I love that. I think it's great advice. And I hope our listeners are taking notes on that. She doesn't let it affect her. She's also drinking a Starbucks coffee, which is strange. I think every Starbucks in Montreal is shut down.
No, mine is open. I told you, it's right across.
It's going to shut down. It's going to be shut down.
It's not going to shut down.
Will.
Come.
Yes, it will.
Come this afternoon. You'll get some. You'll get a nice coffee.
It's going to be shut down. I'm telling you, it's going to be shut down. All my Starbucks that I usually go to they're all closed. So for our listeners,
I also feel like I'm supporting this Starbucks in such a heavy way that they'll probably move into my tribe real soon.
I was thinking the same thing every time I go in there for a $10 cappuccino. Same thing. Listen, this is a very important question. Now, it's a brand new world for everyone. You did talk about pivoting,
yes,
right? But in your opinion, what do entrepreneurs and business builders need to focus on in 2022 and beyond now?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, here's the deal. Before I go into like any kind of actual business tip, I'm going to tell you what you need to focus on is your definition of success and happiness. Like, because if I tell you crypto, maybe you don't care. If I tell you real estate, maybe you don't, that's not your thing. If I tell you personal branding, like I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to hit every single one of your listeners. Every single one of them needs to find out what's their definition, because maybe they're chasing my definition or yours or somebody else's. I'm not going to tell you what your definition is. Maybe this year for you is about, just being a great mom or a great dad and just like crushing it with your kids. And you're super happy with that. Good. There's your goal for 2022. You're crushing it. Good job. Like, why do I have to tell someone, hey, if you're not online, you're missing out. And then you're going into full missing out, FOMO, imposter syndrome. No, maybe your year is, you know what? Maybe you put on 50 pounds because of COVID. I'm starting a 30-day transformation with my people. You didn't put on, what are you talking about?
I did. COVID was hard on me.
COVID was hard on so many people. So
no, just me. Only
no,
me.
just you. You're right. So maybe maybe the first quarter, like look at it in quarters. Maybe first quarter is like, hey, like I need to get my stuff back into check. Like I need to actually really look at my diet. I need to really look at my fitness and go, I need to create these habits that are going to get me back into myself. Because if you let yourself go and you don't feel aligned with yourself, you don't feel like you don't feel good. Sometimes you put on weight or you don't feel yourself. So if I tell you, you have to be, showing up on social media, but you don't even look like yourself because you're like, I just let myself go, or I just got a divorce, or I just broke up. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Figure yourself out first. Mm-hmm. Go, and right after this, right when you're done listening to this, because listen to the end of it, like sit yourself down with a journal and really go, hey, okay, what's my definition of happiness? Like, what makes me happy? Like, what's my definition of success? Is it 1 million, 10 million, 3 million, that have 100,000, no job? Like how am I, what do you want? What do you want? Mm-hmm. Because if you stroll on socials, or they're going to tell you make more money, make less money, work more, work less, then you're all messed up. So one is you really have to figure out what it is that you want. Now, once that's figured out, and be at your peak, like, why not? Be at your peak, be the person that you always wanted to be. Focus on being that person. From that space, you have a gift. There's a gift. We all do. Like, I don't have any magic special sauce. I can inspire, speak. Like that's my thing. Give me a stage, I'll blow it up. But we all have something. Maybe you're an amazing artist. Maybe you're a phenomenal magician. Maybe you're good with kids. Maybe, like, there's so many gifts out there. I want you to find your gift, right? Maybe you're a great dance. Those are good moves. Very nice dance moves. Hey, right? So then once you know what your X factor is, what your superpower is, I would super greatly encourage you, build your personal brand. Like, there's a whole audience out there waiting for you, and it's free. But you need a strategy, right? So you have to go from your strategy of your business or your personal brand, the strategy of your content, and then to grow and convert and go into that. So online in a huge way, real estate, I mean, it's a beautiful bit. I mean, really, you know what I mean? Like, that's it, guys. Like, this is like raw, like you're owning real assets, mm-hmm. right? And then when you look at for 2022 and you're clear on what it is that makes you happy, what it is that you actually want, then you'll be able to actually start pushing to online and to definitely real estate. And then you want to go crypto. You want to go, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's key. And I hope our listeners are really paying attention and taking notes, because you talked about clarity before, and, knowing what success looks like for you is critical. And we say it too, if this is your goal or this is your end game, work backwards, like, for example, if you're in sales, how many appointments do you have to make? How many calls do you have? Whatever, right? So work your way backwards. But unless you know exactly what success looks like or what that end game is, it's like you're punching at the wind. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then you also have to be it's like work it backwards, then create the habits.
Yes.
You have to create the habits. You have to consistently go, and you have to become so obsessed. If you want to be the best, become obsessed with it. Like, I'm obsessed with people. I love the mind. I love seeing people win. Like, it makes me so happy. So I show up so strong for it because I get to do what it is that I love. And then I've acquired the skill set and the tools to be able to actually implement it. So if you want to be a phenomenal salesperson, you actually have to learn and you have to apply it, and you consistently have to do it every single day.
I'm going to ask you about your habits, maybe daily routine or morning routine, maybe in a minute here. But I did want to ask you, is there a commonality or a quality that you see among those that experience the most success from your coaching?
Yeah, the mindset. The second we shift it, it's all head. Honestly, it's so funny because I've done the last 4 months, I've done master your mind, your mindset. Then I've done master your relationship, master your body, and master your business. Okay. And the one that always sells out at highest ticket is always master your business and master your personal brand. Always. People will invest in their financials and where they feel they can double, triple, 10x their business. Easy. Mm-hmm. But I always go back to your head. If you don't believe that you're the person that's acquiring these assets, if you don't believe that you're the person that can generate that kind of money, if you don't believe that you're the person that even in your relationships, like, don't you understand how important investing in your relationships is? Like, when I did master your relationship, I'm like, I would invest everything in that. Like, that's the one partnership, like, you got to get it right and not lose yourself within that. Right. So for me, the best indicator of success is your head. And it's this resilience of not making it, if you make mistakes, not making it mean like you're a failure, but like, oh, wow, what a beautiful learning opportunity.
Interesting. Now, you did talk about this. You do a lot of public speaking, right? Yes. And that's always considered one of the biggest fears for most people, public speaking. Have you always been a confident public speaker? Or what helps, or what advice would you give someone when it comes to that? Okay,
I'm going to give you the best advice. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Strong pause. Get your notebooks out. Okay, so here's the deal, right? Da, da, da. Okay, so it's so funny because it really is the number one fear. People get completely freaked out public speaking, and you can use this tool on anything to do. If you want to do lives or Instagrams or any kind of thing like that, use the same tool. So here's the deal. I call it something else. So this whole thing of I'm scared, I don't get scared. Scared is, oh my God, you start to have butterflies. Maybe you get sweaty palms. What is it that you're calling fear, right? Your heartbeat is beating really, really strong. And you're just kind of like, you might get like a little sweaty so I call that excitement. That whole process of like me feeling the butterflies, I call it excitement. So I don't know fear. I've never experienced fear. That is the definition of what someone is going to call fear and define fear. I just named it something else. So anytime I feel like, holy shit, I'm so scared, I'm like, holy shit, I'm so excited. And I love excitement because I'm that person. I'm that person. Like, give me fun and experiences I'm in. That's one of my greatest values. So for me to go into this, I start feeling the butterflies. Oh, this is kind of scary, but that means it's really exciting to me. So I will lean into the excitement and shift this idea of, oh no, this is scary to, oh yeah, this is going to be epic. So if you're having a big speech or a presentation or a big negotiation, or you want to hop onto your social and take your phone or whatever, it's like, don't go into the, oh my God, this is scary, but say, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then from that space of excitement, lean in and take that first step.
That's so good.
Right?
That's so good. Yeah. It's positive reinforcement, telling yourself that it's false evidence appearing real, or whatever you want to call it. Right. There's no
I don't know what fear is. I've never experienced it. I'm excited all day long.
I'm asking for myself. I've been public speaking for many, many years. And so something like few years ago, just, I still get through it a little bit more, and I still bring it, but it's just something slightly, just maybe more self-aware. So I always ask, people that speak in front of 13,000 people like you did not too long ago.
Yeah.
13,
you know what's really cool?
13,000 people she spoke in front of. Like, it's crazy.
But you know what's really good too? Another little tip that I have. So I'm very I like my little gangster rap and whatever. And like, music is a huge thing for me. Huge. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I'm feeling off, music, if I work out, music, if I forget my headset at the gym, I'll walk out. Like, I just can't. So for me, even before going on stage or before any big competition, I'm a very competitive person. I'll always have like earphones, get in the zone, lock it down, go into stillness, go into what's the intention that I want people to get out of this. And then I just go for the kill. I just go.
That's awesome. I'll share my playlist with you. I'll share my playlist. Now, I do want to pivot. I want to pivot. And I want to pivot a little bit to branding, marketing, something you're known for. I was going to ask you, what's the difference between marketing and branding, or branding and selling? But I'm just going to jump to branding here. And you can think about this as, you answer the question. Now, you do have, as we said, a large fan base, a devoted following, we can call it. What advice would you give someone who's starting the journey of, personal branding and marketing themselves from scratch? Where would they start?
That's such a good question. Well, honestly, not to close my own stuff, but 100% do my course, because I literally go from point A all the way to execution. Like the reason why the courses and the training platforms that I do is that it's not just, I'm going to give you the learning, but I'm also going to give you every single tool so that you know exactly what you're doing. And then we'll break it down to the first 30 days and the next week. But let me give you literally 4 first steps on what you can do if you're starting on your personal brand. One is you have to get clear. Am I building a personal brand or a business brand? Most people don't even know the difference of this. I'll give you a quick example so that everyone can really get it together. A coach, a trainer, a podcaster, somebody that has services, that's a personal brand. That means that people will follow you. We actually have to build your brand as a person, as a personality. And the beauty of a personal brand is that people will follow people much more than they will follow products. Right? Now, however, let's say you have a coffee shop. Let's say you have a store. Let's say you have a real estate agency. So that then becomes a business brand. Okay. So both of those, and we can go into literally a whole course on this, but both of them have different strategies. Okay. So once you're clear on what it is that I have, my business brand or a personal brand, now you're going to say, Sonia, I'm a personal brand. Great. Let's dig it. Number one is you have to ask yourself a few questions. One is, why am I on social? What do I want to get out of this? Okay. Why? Do I want to convert my audience into my sales funnel? Do I want to sell? Let's say you're in real estate. Do I want to sell homes? Why am I doing this? Because the content that we're going to create, the strategies that we're going to create is directly associated to why you're actually doing this. Number 2 is I want you to get clear on who is my audience. Who's my audience? People get so lost in this. It's almost like they're talking to everybody. Stop talking to everybody. They're not your clients. They're not your target audience. That's going to be so clear that once we understand who specifically is your audience, then you can start to create content directly for them. Then you'll get to start and understand and say, hey, do I need to post my Avo toast this morning? Fuck no. Nobody cares about your Avo toast. That's not your client base. But if you have a cute coffee shop, yeah, you'll post your Avo toast, right? So one is, why are you doing this? Who's your audience? Okay. Then I would go into your values. Like this is in everything. It's not just in your personal brand, but it's in your business too. Like what are your core 4 values? Like what do you value? Because the second that you know what your values are, then the content, your life, everything is going to start to have such meaning because you'll be able to take the right decisions based on those values. And then I'll give you a last point. I keep going on this, but I really want to give some great value. The 4th thing is, what are your content pillars? Okay. Your content pillars are super important. And I hope you guys are taking notes because your content pillars it's kind of the content categories. What will you post about? Right. So once you're clear on who follows you, why they follow you, Then you're going to go into, well, what kind of content am I going to be creating? So let's say my real estate agents, like, what are you going to be creating? So maybe, what can you buy with $1 million? What can you start really going in and understanding the 4 core categories of what your brand stands for.
Listen, everyone, this is why you need a coach. This is why you need a coach, and we'll put it in the show notes and, on the episode so you can connect with Sonia here. But are you a new real estate agent or thinking about getting a real estate license? If so, you're going to want to ask about the Greater Property Group's Agent Scholarship Program. Why pay for the cost of the course yourself when the Greater Property Group will subsidize the cost for you? Make sure you reach out and get all the details on the Greater Property Group's Agent Scholarship Program. Fantastic. That's probably one of the best breakdowns of where to start with personal branding I've ever heard, honestly. And I ask the best of the best. That includes you now. So honestly, that was incredible. That was a clinic. Because
it's once you understand that it's really just a strategy, then it gets fun. It's just that people are so there's a specific thing. Same thing with your branding elements, the branding elements, what you should have in your bio, how to use your highlights to actually make them into your sales funnels. I have to tell you, 100% of most of the accounts that I look at have no idea how to use highlights. They don't know. And I'm talking with the biggest of the biggest. Your highlights, it's basically your service sections of your website. I can create you just through your Instagram, a complete website. You can book it. You can go into your calendar. You can get all the services, your funnels, everything. And that's just using highlights, your bio, link in bio, and a bit of your feed. That's it. You got yourself a business.
That's basically the business card now anyway, is your social.
Of course it is. That's why you invest in it. What are you guys doing? Don't make it. You cannot show up and tell me that you're a coach or that you are a successful something and ask for high ticket. And then I show up on your Instagram or your social and it's whack. Don't be whack. Be better than this.
Don't be whack.
Don't be whack. What do you mean?
Don't be whack.
This.
Was there a tipping point for you on your social media that made your personal brand explode, or maybe an inflection point?
Yeah, it's weird. So that was actually before it was really funny. So I was president of my brand. My background's in fashion, right? So I was with Vince Camuto. So I was doing that. I was doing socials. I got social. I really got it. I love scaling and marketing and all that stuff. So I got it. And I understood that, the marketing before in the fashion industry was, magazines and ad campaigns and billboards and all that. And I, from the beginning, was like, guys, it's all going to be on your phone. Because imagine I have access to people all day long directly on their phone. So I started pulling all ad budgets and throwing that into socials. And then I started understanding the power of influencer and I started understanding, wait a second, these people are going to be our biggest, because they're going to be our biggest money makers, because people want to follow people that they like. And the second they like you, they want to buy every single thing that you're wearing, that you're talking about, your lip gloss, your eyebrows, everything. They just want to, all of it. I was looking at your eyebrows just now. I was going to ask you, but then I was like, so what I got is, as I'm doing this for my brands, I'm like, but wait a second, why am I not just doing that for myself? So I make a tremendous amount of money with my sponsorships on my own account, right? And I have beautiful brand collaborations from, airports to hotels. I've worked with the best hotels to, Amex that I've been with. So all kinds of phenomenal brands, because I understood very well how to align my brand to, the bigger corporate brands that I wanted to align myself with. So that's why I have banks, insurance companies, all of that. So there's tremendous value in building a community. Tremendous.
Yeah. And you're consistent. I mean, I tell people this all the time, and really, you just document your day, and that's what, you attract the people that you want to attract. And there's so much content in just documenting your day, especially if you're, a busy entrepreneur like yourself. One of the things I do want to ask you about is being a working mom. And I think you can speak with authority on this.
Yes, I
Being
can,
a working
baby.
mom.
Yes, I can.
What
Yes.
encouragement can you give the working moms out there who are struggling or doing their best in an uncertain time?
I love my mom so much. See, it's so funny because that's such a pillar of my brand too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a 4-year-old boy, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I have 3 stepsons, 17, 24, and 26. So we're a family of 5. Yeah. And we are tight beyond tight. Like my kids have never said the word stepbrother. They have no idea. They're just like, it's one big family. My stepsons, they live with us. They're with us all the time. So my family is 100% my priority. 100%. Every single thing I do is my family. I'm obsessed with my family. My relationship, I put my relationship even before my kids. And that's, I think, is so beautiful because I just got back, for example, from Mexico this week. I went for work. I had 2 days of work in Mexico, and then I flew out my husband. We spent the whole weekend in Mexico, and we reconnected. My kids were fine, and we invest time in each other. So let me break it down for you guys so that you have clear tangibles. Number one, you're going to be tired. I'm exhausted. It's a lot of work. Honestly, it's so much work. So know that it's a lot of work. So you might as well do something that you really, really love, because it's very challenging already to be away from your kids. So if you're going to be away from your kids, like do something you love, so that you're actually fulfilled at work as well. And then the most important thing, if I could give you my number one tip, is planning your week. I am so organized. I am so structured. I run my house. I run my kids. I run that whole thing. But my week is planned on Sundays. And every single thing in my week is planned. So from my meetings, my coachings, my business, my kids' activity, my kids' karate, my dinners with my husband, my friends get meeting requests. Everything in my life gets a meeting request. If it's not in my calendar, it's not happening. It's just not there. So we become master schedulers. And one more great tip for all of the moms and dads out there is make sure that you have you time. Like my morning routine, my workouts, I need me, because if I'm me, then I could be for everybody else, but I have to feed myself first, because I can't go on empty and then be this phenomenal person for anybody, including my kids.
Yeah, it's great advice. I think that's fantastic. Scheduling does become critical, especially if you got a lot of balls in the air, right? So you touched on it, your daily routine or your morning routine. What does that look like? Because I know you're high energy. So the listeners want to know, what does your morning routine look like? Yeah.
So the listeners, well, those who follow me, and I hope you do on Instagram. I'm like big on Instagram. It's the one platform that I use, but so I really share my morning routine because I think it's so important to have your habits, right? So for me, my morning routine, the first thing first is always like, I wake up, it's my head, right? Feed your mind, feed your mind. If you're finding that news are triggering you or social's triggering you, put your phone away. Start with intention in your life, right? So for me, it's my kids. So the kids start my day. It's getting them out to school, getting them the lunches, all that kind of stuff. And then it's me. I go right either down to my gym. I have a gym in my house, or I'll go to the gym, but it's almost every single day I get it in. And in my head, I'm feeding my head. So if it's a phenomenal podcast, or if it's a great course I'm watching, or I need to get my head in the game so that I feel like I'm on, right? So, and I move your body. So feed your head, move your body, add love, full gratitude. And that's not I'm not talking some just personal development thing, but every single night I go to bed and I'm grateful for my day. And I teach that to my kids. I teach my daughter every single night. What was your highlight? She does her gratitude. She does her 3 things to do. She's 8 years old, and she'll probably, she speaks and that's what we want to show our next generation, right? It's be so grateful that every single day you get to do something that you love, right? And appreciate those moments.
Thank you for breaking that down. A couple wrap-up questions, if you're okay with that. These are fun ones.
Yes.
These are fun ones. So, Sonia.
Yes.
If you could have dinner with any three people in history, past or present, who would they be and why?
Wow. History. Dinner. Wow. That's a good question. Dinner with who? With wow. There's so many people. It's not fair. I love, first of all, dinner. I just love it. And honestly, like this is a tough one.
It's a tough one. Listen, it does put you on the spot a little bit, but it's same reaction almost every time. Oh my God, I never really thought about it. But it kind of forces... have
dinner with everyone. That's just like I'm just like, you know what's so interesting about it is like, I want people that are not known. Like I want somebody in India that's just like living his like most like cherished, amazing life and like a total, like a total monk. That's just like this. I want that. Then I want to go and I want to be with like someone who's just like bohemian, traveling the world and like made their own, like I want those stories. Right? Like I want three people that have the most epic journey, completely different from mine. And like, those are the stories that I want to hear,
So in theory, that's great, but we're going to force you to name some names.
You're going to force me. No, this is so difficult. And it's like every book I've read, like I want to meet them all, everyone I want to meet. I don't know.
So I'll go first. Okay. So
go.
I'll go,
can we go together? Let's like go together.
Okay. Okay. Kanye West, Bradley, and Sonia Zarbatany. That's what I'll do.
Yay. Okay. So I'm going to pick.
Oh, wait. No, hold on. What? Maybe I better pick a. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that.
Okay. That's a good dinner. I'd like to go with Kanye too. Brad too. I mean, we love Brad.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are we going to go for dinner with?
Right? It's tough. Isn't it tough? It's like the toughest question.
Yeah. I'm like thinking Super Bowl. I'm like, let's bring 50. How about Eminem? Dr. Dre's pretty good too.
What a halftime.
Right? Yeah. Tupac. Let's bring him and Biggie back. No, I say that. I say you, me, Biggie, and Tupac.
What a dinner table.
I know.
That would be fire. That would be a fun dinner table.
There's the dinner. That's the dinner.
That would be,
I'm sticking to that.
Now, Sonia.
Yes, David.
You're opening a bottle of champagne a year from now.
Yes.
Celebrating something you've accomplished. What would that be?
Ooh. Everything. What do I want to accomplish? Oh, I want to have like a huge book launch. Like I want my book to be bestseller. I want it to be everywhere. I want to be on platforms everywhere. Like COVID's done. We're doing a retreat. Yeah. Let's go back to a retreat and experience. Like, let's pop bottles together. I mean, on stage somewhere, definitely not Montreal, big stage, and just be like, cheers to life. Like, that's what I'm into.
It's the hard way too. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, imagine.
What's the name of the book? Wait, let's plug the book. Let's tell everybody about the book, when it comes out, what it's called.
I know. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so the book's going to come out soon. I want to launch the mastery program first. So I'm doing Pivot Your Business in 14 Days, which is your business mastery. And then you have your personal branding mastery. Then I launched the book. So it's how to live your 10 out of 10 life. So this is the book. It's my methodology. It's literally 8 steps for you to actually create the definition that you want out of your life and for you to execute it. So I go from mindset to relationship to body to business. Like, this is it. Like, it's a very methodology based book, tons of storytelling and tons of just epicness. It's going to be phenomenal.
Final question. When all is said and done, what do you want to be known for? What does the Sonia Zarbatany legacy look like?
Oh, that's a good question. The Sonia Zarbatany legacy looks like the next generation. I want to be the woman who is on stage, who is bringing up other women, young girls, to lead the next generation. Like, I want to bring back the girls to be, impactful with empathy and kindness and lead the next generation. That's what I want to be known for. I want to bring women back up. I want to bring our daughters up. I want my daughter to bring other daughters up. And I just want to be the woman who just like helped others shine. That's beautiful for me.
That's incredible. No hesitation there. I love that. Fantastic breakdown. What an awesome conversation. I want to thank you for making
right?
time for us. Yeah, and for being here today. We made it happen.
We did.
Right? We made it happen in the same city, on opposite ends of the city, actually. So, but no, fantastic. Now, where do you want the people to find you, or go follow you, or click through, or your coaching program? Where do you want everyone to go?
I want them to, number one, they have to follow me on Instagram. So at Sonia Zarbatany. Add Sonia Zarbatany on Instagram. Then my website is coachsonia.com. Very simple. There are tons there too. And then my program, you can actually pre-register at gocoachsonia.com.
Gocoachsonia.com.
Yes.
That's a great URL.
I think so too, right?
That's a great URL. Well done.
So. Yes, thank you.
What a fantastic discussion. I really enjoyed having you.
Okay, that sounds
All right.
perfect. Okay, bye.
See you. Bye. Thanks a lot. Peace.